What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Remember to go check out all my other vlogs, live streams, and give them a like, give them a comment. Let me know what you think about the channel. Right now I am on my way to do some jiu-jitsu, as if you couldn't guess. And in this vlog I'm going to give you a few updates, but I'm going to talk you could almost say phase 3 of recovery is complete, because I just came back from the chiropractor's office feeling good. I just measured myself and I'm almost an inch taller, and I think it's just from posture and getting the spine straight and the shoulders back in the same place. This is the wall we started when we moved into the house. It's just getting taller. I forget the height that's on there. Maybe I'll measure it. I think it's actually 5'10". Put my back to the wall. Let's see what we get in here. I wish I had a ruler, but I couldn't find a ruler. So, about the same spot. So we're slightly, not a lot, that much taller. So from the red to the black mark there, so much of an improvement the chiropractor made. So I believe the last time I went to a chiropractor was back in 2012, and I went there for a pinched nerve. But this trip, it paid off. I got rid of a lot of the pain, alleviated some things between the shoulders, got lined up, got on this little neat machine, but that's a whole different story in itself. I didn't get any footage while I was there, but trust me, if you're doing a lot of movements, athletics, lifting, whatever that you're doing, it pays to have yourself a person that can do massages and a person who can straighten your back out, do chiropractic work. But to get into these cars, where do I start? Well, we start at the beginning, pretty much. I'm not gonna tell you what year, give away my age, but my first vehicle started out as a Nissan pickup. The pickup was a 1986 and a half Nissan hard body. It's a vehicle that my mom bought for me. And, when I acquired it, I loved having a truck. But it was during the phase where a lot of people were fixing up mini trucks and things like that. I'd had it for a few years and decided that I would do some customization. The first thing I did was lower the truck, and it kind of went from there. And that was one of the vehicles that I went all out in. If you knew me in those times, you know the history of that vehicle. If I'm thinking right, I had somewhere a picture of it on the screen, a quick shot of it. But that was, where I cut my teeth, is on the truck. My second vehicle that I acquired was a 1988 Ford Mustang GT. And during these times, there was people that would fix up Mustangs and make them look like V8s and add badging on the side, 5.0, to make you think that they were, the V8, the sportier model. If you knew any of the history on the Fox body Mustangs, they were a really light car. They're like 3,200 pounds. The 5-liter motor was rated, I believe, at 225 horsepower. I took that car, I raced that car. I think at 1,000 feet, I got to where it was around 11.1 before I got rid of the car. Done a lot of things to it, never broke the motor open. Everything was bolt on. It wasn't really complete like I wanted to, but I reached the next phase and I decided to get rid of that car. And pretty much after that, went through that car, my racing days at the track were over. Some of the other cars that I had, I took them out to the track, but not like I did that car. It was normal that I would go to the track on the weekends when I had the time and when I wasn't at work. The next car I got actually was found in town. by one of my exes, and I was turned on to that car. It was a 1989 Mustang GT, and that was the first car that I took, and I stripped every part of that car, every exterior part, every interior part. I took the seats out. I broke that car down to, the frame, and I redone everything. I painted everything and put it all back together, redone parts, rewired things, restructured the interior. And I did it all myself. Did it within maybe about 3 months. I think that was about it. I wound up finishing that car right before the holidays, and I wound up selling that car to a friend of mine. I don't have any pictures. I had some pictures of that car on my Facebook, before and after pictures, but it was a good learning experience. And it was during the time where I had my 64 Impala, my first 64 Impala. So I was, kind of trying to manage 2 cars at the same time, which is very difficult. In those days, I had, my family, my kids were young, and I was married at that time. A lot of things balancing, fixing up a couple of cars and having everyday drivers, there were money pits. Next phase I moved into was basically my drop top. It was that 89 Mustang GT, and it was one of those cars that I had that it required a lot of maintenance on the top. I bought a new top for it. The top would stay dirty. The top didn't leak like I thought it would, but the top leaked nonetheless, and it would leak back into the rear quarter panels. And after a rain, sometimes you hear that water sloshing around. And they really didn't have drains fixed into those cars, not like they do with cars of today with sunroofs. But that car, I love that car. Wound up selling that one to a friend, and they wound up reselling it. I think they made a few bucks off of it, but it was one that just I didn't drive it enough and required too much maintenance, because during that time of the drop top, I had my eyeball on the Dodge cars, the LX series cars. Cars come around in about 2005, started with a Dodge Magnum, and I'd seen the car commercial about, Dodge had the Hemi. I wanted one, and I wanted the Magnum. I wanted the station wagon car, the everyday family type of station wagon with the V8 in it. It had the 5.7 liter. It was the RT series. I was familiar that they had an SRT series with a 6.1 liter motor, but at the time, that's what I wanted, was the SRT, but it was kind of overkill. I couldn't justify spending the extra 10 grand probably for the SRT for just a few more cubic inches, because at the time I just wanted the car. I didn't have any plans on souping the car up. There wasn't a whole lot of aftermarket parts for those cars, but I wound up getting a 2006 Dodge Magnum, the RT. And when these people today, when they buy the cars, they talk about the 5.7 liter like it's the king of the road, like they're the fastest thing on the road. But that car was no faster than my 5 liter. I felt that kind of power before. The only difference I would say it made between the 5.7 and the 5 liter was the top end speed. That Mustang I had would get there a whole lot faster. The Dodge was similar in speed, but it would take more computer work to get more horsepower out of that motor. Plus it was a heavier car. And with the Magnum, the top ends, when you push that top end, and I may be telling myself right here, but the top end, you wouldn't see much over 140. But 0 to 100 and even 100 to 115 around there, you have plenty of horsepower. One of the safety mechanisms in those cars, when you had to corner the car, if you had to turn, right or left, those cars wouldn't let you accelerate until the car actually got lined out. So if you hit a corner, the car would actually, change the ignition sequence with the MDS or whatever it is, and it wouldn't let you accelerate until the car straightened out. That was one of the safety features of the car. You could turn that stuff off with a tune or a computer, but it was just, that was the type of car it was. But that kind of led in to today's car, and that what set me up to go back to 2006 to buy the Dodge Charger, the SRT. I looked at getting another Magnum, and I wanted to get the Magnum right away, the SRT model, but I'd wanted a Charger then, just the same, because had some similar qualities to them. But I decided to go with the 2006 and the SRT because that was the first year of the Charger SRT, and it took me probably around a year to find this car. I've been looking for some time, and I really take my time when it comes to looking to purchase cars. Originally, I was going to get a 5.7, but that whole story right there and the venture of getting this car is a whole vlog in itself. So I may shoot another vlog just on that when I do a walk around of the car. But I want to come in here and just kind of give you a rundown. Those are pretty much my collector cars. Of course, I had the Impalas. The two Impalas I had are another story. I may do a vlog on that one someday. Like I said, those are story for another time. Next vlog, I've got a trip I'll be taking to Long Beach, so may do some vlogging there. This vlog I just shot is shot over the last 4 days, so I'll be putting this one out. Next trip, like I said, will be the LA trip, and then I plan on doing a walk around in the car. It may be that one, it may be something else, maybe a little bit more updates. I may have something else going by then that I'll vlog about. But end the vlog here. Thanks for tuning in. Stay with me. Ultimate Expression. Let's go.